Catalyst crew. Welcome to episode 10. Very special. Episode 10 of Catalyst Corner. It's Wednesday, so we've got Partially Proficient with us. And yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, so, okay. We're just gonna fucking jump right into this because you were talking to me a little bit before about the fucking trees are alive. And I don't like that. That's fucking scary to me.
Well, we were talking about aliens.
Like, alive. Okay, yeah, I know that trees are alive, but you're telling me that trees are like touching people. It's like a fucking TikTok trend.
So we were talking about aliens last week, and I told you that you had the most visceral reaction of anyone I've discussed this with. So, yes,
of course.
You're the person I want to run things by when they enter into my brain.
Okay.
So, TikTok has a trend going on now where people are talking to plant life and, you know, saying shit like, touch my shoulder, right?
Yeah.
And then the fucking tree moves and touches the shoulder.
I hate that.
So,
I hate everything about what you just said to me.
Here's the
It
problem.
makes me upset. It makes me frightened.
I haven't tested it. And I don't know if I haven't tested it.
I'm
because
scared to have it tested.
Right.
I don't like that.
It's either, I can't tell if it's fear or it's just I can't be bothered to go outside, or it's I don't care about aliens. I don't fucking care if the trees are alive.
How can you not care about that shit?
Because
right, hold on.
It's not new. It's not like they weren't alive and now they are.
Maybe that is new. That seems new to me. I've been around trees my whole life.
Yeah, well, you
I go
skipped
outside.
that. You skipped school that day. What do you want? You skipped.
No.
You skipped school
Nope,
today.
I don't like that. It's bad. It makes me feel bad. So my brain immediately goes to, obviously they're faking it. They're faking it.
Sure,
They have a little wire in their hand. They're pulling the branch over. It's touching your shoulder. But the 1% of my brain is saying, yeah, but what if they're not?
Right.
What if the trees have been there?
problem is
They're
this.
listening to the shit I'm
Right.
saying. They can touch me. A tree's bigger than me. The first thing my brain thinks of is that scene from Evil Dead 2. What's the tree gonna do? I don't like that. Gonna get raped by a tree?
I feel like you have. I don't know. We've been cutting the Amazon down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear about it on the TV.
Maybe that's because it is new. What if the trees are fighting back? I
Here's
don't
the
like
thing.
that. It's like a big...
It goes one of two ways. Either the trees are alive, in which case checkmate vegans,
Yeah.
or this trend is just a bunch of people with way too much time on their hands goofing. And if that's the case, I just want you all to know how much you're hurting me.
I don't... All right, but like, why would that be the trend? Like, they're just like, oh, I'm going to make the tree touch me?
That's a viral... Like,
That's
you know what?
silly. I don't like that.
It's people just like us sitting down going like, you know what would be funny? Let's convince the world that the trees are sentient.
That's stupid. You can't convince anyone. Like, again, like
99%
99% of my conscious brain...
You can't convince anyone? I'm on the fence.
There's no way.
Well, what the hell? Why does it keep showing up then?
Because if the trees were alive, that's way too scary of a reality.
I mean, but they're not doing anything.
They can touch you. They can move. If they can move, they're way too big. They're big.
Right, but I mean,
they're
but
scary. They can hurt you.
Hold on. Let's roll it back to Lord of the Rings. The tree,
I immediately thought Lord of the Rings too.
He was a vibe.
He was cool,
right?
But he was throwing fucking boulders. He was crushing orcs.
But why was he doing that?
Because they were cutting down trees.
Right. So, you know, if you're not cutting down trees, you're probably okay.
People cut down so many trees. He couldn't distinguish hobbits from orcs. He's going to distinguish one human from another?
I mean, they're touching people's shoulders. What do you want?
They're going to fucking kill us if it's Treebeard.
But like, maybe they're more rad than that.
I don't know. I think they're way less rad than that. I think, if anything, they're probably meaner. I think if a tree is alive, it's probably an asshole. I don't know why. That's how my brain goes.
See, here's the thing, though. You're talking about...
I don't like... Again,
trees are hanging out for hundreds of years. They see humans come and go. They understand how nothing is permanent.
No.
Trees
they see us like ants. Like, if you walk...
That's why the aliens don't come. Because they're like, oh my... have you fucking seen the trees?
Yeah. You walk across the ground and you step on ant.
Yeah.
You maybe don't do it on purpose, but you're not like, oh no, that's terrible. That upsets me. You're just like, oh, it's an ant.
I kill ants.
Yep. Okay.
My partner's allergic, so I have to.
So the trees, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they're gonna kill us.
The aliens don't come to Earth because they're like,
because trees are terrifying.
They're like, these fucking idiots let the trees get out of control.
They're way out of hand.
And like, I like to think of it as like a Terminator 2 situation. Like we're all living post-apocalyptic because the trees rose up, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're just sitting there around like the campfire, burning the bodies of our enemies. And
yeah, of course.
It's just like, do you remember?
In the husks of cities because it's the furthest from the forest.
It has to. It has to. It's a concrete jungle. And it just goes, I remember when it started on TikTok. Lizzo was talking to her house plant.
No one wanted to believe that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, just ridiculous.
Oh, I hate it.
I don't know. Part of me is like, I should try it to put it to bed. And then the other half of me goes straight back to the alien thing where it's like, what am I going to do with the information?
Like, what if it does? What if it touches you and you're like, oh.
I become very pro-deforestation just because I don't know what they're up to. I'm like, oh, that's very xenophobic.
That puts me in another spot with it where, like, what if this is all just getting funded by, like, the big fucking paper mill companies and all that?
Like who's
They're,
that
like,
dude in
paying
Brazil?
off these people
Yeah.
like, make people xenophobic of trees.
Yeah. It's like just a sponsor. They're sponsoring these influencers, and they're just like, make people afraid of trees.
Make them hate them.
Right. Fuck.
It's working. I hate them a little bit now.
Yeah, I hate them a little more.
Yeah.
And you know what's messed up? I don't know why. Like, even if they were sentient, they've never done anything bad to me.
It's their potential. It's the potential to do harm.
I guess that's very, like, that's, fear of the unknown.
You don't go into a lion's cage, not because you've ever been attacked by a lion, but because it can do harm to you.
But that does invalidate the vegan argument, though, right?
Yeah, they're, like, alive and, like, they're responsive to speech.
And here's the thing. You know how I roll with, like, any type of movements, right?
Yeah.
I want you to do you, right?
Right.
Unless you're hurting other people, do your thing. But don't be a fucking snob about it.
I get weird first impulses on hearing that. Because, like, if that invalidates the vegan thing,
right?
My process of thought was immediately like, well, like, if it's all alive and it can all think,
right?
Then, like, you can't take everything off the table because people got to eat, right?
Right. So
now it's all on the table.
Oh, you want to eat people. Okay, so we go back to that.
Yeah, immediately, it must all now be on the table.
Like, the New Age argument is that it's just one being, right?
What do you mean?
Like, it's just one being. We're all just one being. Consciousness is just one thing.
That doesn't make sense. That's dumb.
I know, it doesn't make sense. And again, I'm not the guy to flesh it out for you because I don't know enough about it. But, I mean, at that point, yeah, you're just eating yourself.
I have to re-examine the way I look at things because that was such an immediate, like, shutdown of an idea I've never heard of.
Yeah, that was very...
yeah, I'm very closed off.
You know what's weird,
I try not to be,
You know
what's
weird, though, is that the trees are alive you were fine with.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, maybe. But
maybe.
I'm like, yeah, we're all just one being.
But
and you're like, fuck you. Fuck you, I'm an individual.
Yeah, well, okay, isn't that all of our fucking instinct is to protect our own individuality?
I think a lot of suffering comes from that, though.
Yeah, maybe, but is it better that you're just a non-existence, you're just a part of a hive mind? I don't think so.
I don't.
I'd rather be an individual with suffering.
I started the day yesterday not thinking trees could touch my shoulder, and now I don't know.
You have to put that in my head. You know where I live. I live surrounded by them.
Well, I
live deep in enemy territory.
All right. And you know what? It's winter sometimes, so like there's that. They go to sleep.
Are they asleep?
Like that's like to me that's the movie version of it, right?
Now
like,
my brain just puts it all in the scariest context. Now they're just skeletons. They got nothing on them. They're scarier.
No, they just they go into like rest mode for 6 months, and that's when we attack.
We kill them all?
Yeah, while they're sleeping.
Huh. It's very like almost a Junji Ito type situation.
Like, sort of.
Like, he's always very, like, okay, for anyone who doesn't know, he's a Japanese mangaka. He writes some really, really great horror stories. They typically go very esoteric and bizarre. If you are into that sort of thing, check him out. He's
art style's
amazing.
Phenomenal.
Oh, he's an incredible artist. That's the kind of thing he would write about. He loves to go into esoteric, bizarre.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that's his kind of jam. He'd be like, oh, the trees are alive. You got to kill the trees.
Yeah, well, you kill them in the winter.
Yeah, you kill the trees.
You can't kill them when...
But then you kill the trees and you just...
But
oxygen.
But you don't kill the trees, right? You just cut them all.
We just got to subjugate.
You cut them down
trees.
and then they grow back. So like generationally, you have to do a slaughter.
We have to subjugate the trees.
As soon as we cut all the trees down, the aliens land. They go, "You idiots! What were you doing?
It took you so long to figure it out.
Just kill the trees."
Yeah.
Like I love that. This will get taken out of context, and like that's going to be the soundbite. Like environmental terrorists are just going to be like, "These fuckers." They want to kill all the trees.
Yeah, we're working for, again, we're just a part of big fucking...
Sponsored by the Brazilian deforestation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quick, did you ever see Fern Gully?
No, not in its entirety.
Oh. Do you remember anything about it?
No, I was very small. I recall it being on.
I think we may have to sit down and watch that.
Yeah, all right.
All right. That might be a good episode. I have some thoughts on that.
You have some thoughts on Fern Gully?
I love my Tim Curry's in it.
Yeah, you're a big Tim Curry guy.
The man oozed sex.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No, that's why I agree with you. Yeah. Like, it took me a second. I have to, like, re-examine my thoughts.
Start playing his characters back. And
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah.
That's, what he does.
Oh, good stuff.
Love some Tim Curry.
So what are you watching then? You're not watching Fern Gully.
So I'm not watching Fern Gully. I haven't been watching much of anything. I'll tell you, I just read something. So I have an agreement with my wife that we indulge in each other's hobbies or interests.
That's incredibly healthy.
Yeah, we try. We try to keep things so that we can talk about it, even if like we don't necessarily vibe on the same level always. And that's kind of one thing that I've had recently is I had to read through the entirety of Beastars.
I love it.
I kind of enjoyed it for a bit.
Well, let me preface that. I don't read anymore. I don't have. Yeah. I can't. It's just not in the cards right now for me. Right. I used to read a lot.
Right.
I like the show.
Sure. So the show, to my understanding, cuts off at roughly the halfway point, which I can totally see you enjoying. So
just real quick, spoilers for Beastars. So if you're a fan of this, we're gonna be talking about the show. If you haven't seen it all, or if you want to see it, just fast forward.
Yeah.
So it cut off when Louie got his leg bitten off, and then Lagoshi
he fights Riz and he beats him. Yeah,
right,
doesn't kill him.
I do like the way that they kind of show the bears.
Yeah, they're incredibly
teddy
intimidating.
Bears, and then it's just like they flip, like they can switch on a dime.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, it's a bear.
Right, it brings you right back into reality of, oh, they can kill everything.
So, it's funny because the first half explores a lot of interesting themes, and like it looks like it could be telling.
It's very relationship based, and not just Lagoshi and Haru. It's the relationship between the carnivores and the herbivores, and
right. And I was gonna say, like a study of society, how we interact with each other. It could be perceived as like the differences between sexes, the differences between racial affairs. It's very interesting in its first half.
There's classism and like there's a it's a very complex ecosystem that it painted by using animals.
And then the second half throws it out the window.
No.
Absolutely drops the ball on all of it. It gets convoluted. It loses the plot.
Don't say that.
It's so bad in its second half.
The best part of it for me is the just that base fight of Lagoshi being like, oh, it's Romeo and Juliet, right? I love her, but I'm not supposed to love her because I'm supposed to eat her, I guess.
Yeah, he drops all of it.
Because why? He gets obsessed with becoming the Beastar or some shit?
No. There's no Beastars in it, really, that they don't care about that at all.
Well, what the fuck do they care about? Because they cared about fucking at the beginning.
Yeah, so Lagoshi essentially just is like, oh, I don't care about justice. I'm just a fetishist for herbivores.
What?
It's just my fetish, whatever.
Oh, so it's not even her?
He loves her specifically, but like he's turned on by just herbivores in general.
Did they go into why?
No.
Yeah, but they kind of do in the show. Like it's just about the fact that they don't take life to live.
Yeah, like he's just sort of like, I think they're more graceful.
Okay.
So I'm a fetishist for it.
Fucking perv.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
that's just it. He's like, I'm just a pervert.
Yeah, he's a pervert. Oh, no. Is that what they roll with?
Yeah, that's what they roll with through the end of it.
What? Really?
Yes, really.
It's like you started to paint a picture, and I was like, "Oh, society's very complex."
And yeah, and then
this.
they drop all the complexities.
And it's just like he finds his kink, and he's just like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck all that other introspection. I just want to fucking asshole."
I'm gonna speed run all the spoilers real
all right,
fast.
go ahead.
All
ruin
right,
this
so
for me. I like this show too, just so you guys know. This is our relationship. Is you just ruining shit for me?
yeah, I like to do it. So Haru and Lagoshi, yeah, they never hook up.
No.
They sort of
like you
are
were
a
hoping.
couple, sort of.
Like they just don't have sex?
Yeah, because so Lagoshi likes to do this thing called putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Yeah, for sure. Like they touch on that at the beginning, though.
He 100% is like, hey, I can't fuck you until I am a stable homeowner who is able to, provide for any future family we may have.
Okay.
So
yeah, he's trying to be noble. All right.
Yeah, sort of. Even though Haru has gone into this whole thing like, hey, don't.
We have heard the whole thing. Like the whole reason I dug the beginning of it was she was like, yes, I fuck people because I'm small and helpless, but when I'm doing that, I don't feel that way.
Yeah, she drops that in the second half. She's like, oh, that was a dumb phase. I don't do that.
Oh
that
my
was like
fucking God. Like what? They stop becoming complex characters as
Yes.
the show goes on.
They become cardboard cutouts.
I hate that. Oh, why?
Why? It's very bad. So let's go into their relationship never developed into anything
She's always
meaningful.
this unattainable fucking.
Yeah,
Okay.
and she basically uses that in the end and says, oh, that's my equality, is that, like, I'm going to be with you, but I'm also not because I'm unobtainable, and so I'm equal.
So is she just not going to be with anybody, or is she going to fuck?
No,
other
she's going to be with
herbivores?
him. She's not going to fuck anyone.
So just no one is having sex anymore?
Like, maybe they will someday.
Is it like is this like should we be doing this?
It's like an anticlimax that they do with it.
We should be like playing this in like schools for like sex education.
Yeah,
Get
just
kids to
don't
stop
fuck.
fucking. Yeah. So they don't fuck.
Yeah, so Louie, the deer, the other kind of, he's sort of a primary character. He's
I dig him. There
I
was
would
like
call him-
weird there was a weird sexual tension between him and Lagoshi, I thought.
I don't see it.
How do you not see it?
At no
He's like
point.
grabbing him and he keeps like like tempting him like eat me, and then at one point he literally eats him.
Because
Your DNA is
he's
inside
literally
of me.
he's a wolf eating a
Your-
goddamn deer.
Your DNA is inside
You watch the
of
Animal
me.
Planet, you see the wolves killing a deer, and you're like, oh god, it's so sexually tense.
The wolves
You fucking
aren't
weird.
talking
Oh, so if they
in
were
Animal Planet.
if they were-
yeah,
if
the
they were
wolves
talking,
eating the
it would be
deer,
a sex
listen,
thing?
If the wolves were eating the deer, okay, and one of them turned to the other one and goes, "Yo, that deer was pretty fucking hot, huh?" Yeah, then it would be a sexual thing.
Lagoshi never does that though.
No, but there's just this
They're
weird
not
dynamic.
any
bro.
sort of-
He's grabbing him.
Oh my God.
He's tempting him. There's a weird sexual.
You are
You're off on that.
You are any one of the female anime fans who has to attribute
no,
some sort of weird.
It's not attributing anything.
Yeah.
Why would you like it?
So
dude,
weird.
why does he have to touch him?
All
And be
right.
all up in his shit then.
All right, because Lagoshi loses the capacity to or not Lagoshi, Louie loses the capacity to fuck altogether.
Why? He gets his dick bit off?
No,
Well, what do you mean?
he just like mentally blocks it.
So he just doesn't care about it? Wait, he doesn't fuck either?
No.
Wait, does anyone fuck?
No,
I'm
no
sorry.
one fucks
so
and have
this,
to.
This show goes from being like, hey, look at how complex everything is. We all have these different personalities. There's different classes. There's different races. There's different blah, blah, blah. Sex is a spectrum to we don't fuck.
Yeah,
Everything is
100%.
2D.
So
Why?
let's go
Why
into
is that where
let's
it's
talk about
evolved
what
to?
happens with him because Louie, he has that weird
He was like a mob boss for a minute.
dynamic between himself and Haru, and then himself and Juno, the female wolf.
Well, he
you
was
recall.
banging out Haru, right? He
Yeah,
had sex
for a
with her?
while.
Yeah, all right.
You know, he had that thing with a female wolf. They kissed. There's like the implication of potential intimacy there.
Just to throw one at Louie, though. Just to throw one at Lagoshi because there's a sexual tension there.
No,
That's what it was.
no.
Yep.
Anyways, so you know,
like every animaker, fuck you.
ooh, Naruto and Sasuke wanted to fuck each other. That's who you are right now. That's
right,
who
dude.
you are right now.
God. All right.
Anyways, so they set Louie up where he's like, oh, I have to have this political marriage to a female deer to continue my family company.
Right, he starts to like accept his father's way of
Yeah.
thinking.
So like near the end of it, him and Juno, the female wolf, have this date. They're like, oh, there's absolutely chemistry there. They're into each other. This can work.
Yeah, and she's like a good stock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
And then Louie's like, nope, got to have the political marriage. He goes with the female deer, who they established just prior he can't have sex with. He literally can't get up. He vomits at the thought of having sex with her.
That's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, and he just marries her. That's it. That's the end of his relationship arc. That's
good, though.
He
I
just
like that.
enters into a loveless marriage where he can't.
Yeah, not
fuck.
everyone gets a happy ending.
No one gets a happy ending.
That I don't like. Well, I guess that's true to life, though, right? We all die.
No. Lots of people get some form of happiness in their lives. I'm happy, sorta.
Well, maybe Beastars is for me, then.
There's so much to it.
That's not bad, though. I'm cool with Louie doing that. Like, it's sad. It's tragic that he follows in his father's footsteps.
I wish I could set it up for you.
It's probably not as deep as
the
I'm making
delivery
it out
is
to be, though,
incredibly
right?
flat.
Right. Like, the thought was there, but they just didn't want to keep drawing.
It's very flat.
Like, yeah, we'll do this. It's tragic, but, like, do it in, like, 3 panels.
Without getting into, like, the whole main villain, they have this guy, Melon. He's just...
What's his thing? Is he a racist? Like, he wants to eat herbivores?
He's half herbivore, half carnivore.
Oh, my God.
He's I believe, a leopard and a gazelle.
And he's a villain?
Yeah, so they kind of set him up to be a foil to Lagoshi, because Lagoshi, in the future, if he has success with Haru, will be creating a half herbivore child.
Right. That's the whole thing, is we're mixing the species.
He looks at this guy as like, oh, like all the difficulties and trials that this person has faced is like potentially what my child could face.
Right. But what is the villain's purpose?
Yeah, he's just not happy in life, so he kills people.
Okay. That's interesting.
Nope, it would have been interesting, but whenever they try to handle...
the bones are there. The bones are there.
So let me go into it. They try to start establishing maybe he's a product of his abuse, he's a product of the society that made him.
It would be like a gay person coming up in an ultra-conservative
community,
right?
Maybe.
But that's how you would roll with it. It's just that, it's anti what everyone around you is saying.
If they wanted to do it right, sure.
Okay.
But
So
in
how did
the
they roll
end,
it?
given all forms of like outlet therapy, fixing against that, he outright says, he's like, oh no, I'm not evil because of any of that. I'm just evil by nature. He said none of that had any bearing. I'm just a bad person.
They just decide to go as surface level with it as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the end of Beastars is terrible.
So the characters go from being these complex, well thought out, introspective characters, which I would argue, at least in the first season, and I would say in the anime for a good portion of the second season, to everything is on the surface.
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder what happened there.
I don't know. Sometimes they give deadlines to end a series if it's not doing well enough.
I thought it was like pretty well received, though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what happened with it.
Is the ending in the community well liked?
I don't know.
I'd be curious to know.
I read some comments, and there was definitely a lot of mixed reaction. You have the people who are, I think, just sort of the blind fans who are like, oh, it's all good. You got roped in
from the beginning, and like, all you can see is the start.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay.
And then there was a lot of people who had the same perspective I did, where it's like, what's going on here?
Well, I'm going to hold out judgment until the last season comes out.
So I'll drop one last level of spoiler to it.
Sure.
Is the whole name of the series is Beastars.
Right.
And they established the Beastars being these people who can change society.
Right. They're quote unquote
things.
Right. They're the top tier of society. They're elevated to a level of fame and recognition, and people listen to them, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's this implication throughout, and there's this building plot line that maybe Lagoshi and Louie could be candidates, or even maybe the Beastar themselves at some point.
That was kind of the bag, right?
Yeah, it's fully dropped.
So no one becomes the Beastar.
No one becomes the Beastar,
well,
no.
So what the fuck is this series called Beastars for?
Yeah, great question. There's a Beastar in it by the name of Yafia. He's kind of a flat character, in my opinion. Some people might like him.
Is the point, though, that it doesn't matter if you're the Beastar or not? Like,
no, it matters a lot. He has a lot of influence.
Fuck me, dude. What the hell? Well, not fuck me, because nobody fucks in the Beastar
no one
universe.
Fucks. No,
okay,
no.
That's good.
Yafia fucks, actually. Yafia fucks once.
Well, he's the Beastar.
One time.
That's weird, because, I'm trying to think. There wasn't like a lot of fucking at the beginning.
Louie did a significant amount of fucking.
Right, but there was just the implication of it.
Haru did a lot of fucking.
Right, but that was kind of part of her,
yeah, there was a lot of fucking.
Yeah, weird, man.
Yeah, they just drop it off.
Oh, well. I don't know. I'm going to watch the third season.
Yeah, give it a go through. Maybe we'll talk about it again in the future, get your impressions about it, but...
I wonder how Lagoshi would deal with the trees being alive. Like, that goes in complete...
He's already got such a weird level with all of it.
I know, he's a monk.
He's just a fucking weirdo, dude. Yeah, I don't want to get too into the whole Beastars thing. We fucking...
He's my hero. Deal. He's my hero. No, I don't know. I fucking...
Dude. He's a big hero to you?
I liked Louie. I thought Louie was a little closer, right? Like, fucked up upbringing, kind of, and so, like, you carry a lot of that sort of shit.
Oh, I hated him.
Yeah, I kind of hated him, too, actually.
He was
I don't know that there was really anyone Oh, the panda. I fucking vibed with the panda doctor.
I could kind of get on with Lagoshi in the beginning.
Yeah, in the first
And then he
season.
falls apart.
What about the panda, though? That dude was fucking rad.
Yeah, he's kind of cool.
Only because we don't know anything about him.
Right. They don't explain enough about him to ruin him.
Right.
He's just so like, I gotta fucking stop him from eating people. And...
horrible.
Yeah.
Too bad. I did like that show. I've recommended that to people.
Yeah, I could see why. Again, going
like,
by the first half.
Because I was like, oh, fuck, am I a furry now?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
I mean, yes, as in, considering the quality of the series,
yeah.
I don't believe it deserves the recognition that it gets, and I think that it is artificially inflated by people with a fur fetish. So, like yourself.
Like myself. But I don't like go in for any other. Well, I will say, Lola Bunny.
All right, so
maybe it's a rabbit thing.
Yeah, you like to fuck a rabbit or two.
You're going to tell me that the fucking Lola from Space Jam, you're going to say no to Lola?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
I don't want to fuck a rabbit.
It's not just a rabbit, though. It's Lola.
I don't want to fuck a rabbit. Why would you want to fuck a rabbit?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you as a person?
It's just a lizard brain thing, I think. Like, I'd like to think if it happened, like if I got to the point, where somehow I was able to make all the right moves to transcend physical boundaries.
I'm going to try to, understand it. So I get... They try to anthropomorphize things.
Just take the fact that it's a rabbit out of it, and
they
it's just
add
It's just a
human
gross,
female.
It's a grossly overtly sexual representation of a woman,
right. But so for me, where that stops is then they attach a fucking cartoon rabbit to its neck.
Yeah, that shit doesn't matter to me.
And I'm like, oh no, I don't want it at all.
Louie vomits when he sees a deer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck him. I can go. I can.
Yeah. Louie's all fucked up. I don't know.
I'm not. Listen. Just to be clear, I'm going to go to a pet store and someone's going to hear this and just be like, keep him away from the fucking.
They have an employee stand between you and the rabbits.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like rabbits though. In reality, I don't care for them. They taste pretty good. I've eaten a rabbit or two.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty.
Not bad if they're cooked
tender.
Right. Yeah. But no, I don't have a desire to actually, I think it's more of a theoretical exercise. Maybe.
Theoretically, you'd fuck a cartoon rabbit.
Just to be clear, the Lola Bunny thing, that is a pretty culturally accepted fuckable rabbit.
Are we talking, Space Jam 1 or Space Jam 2?
I didn't watch Space Jam 2.
Who the fuck did?
I don't know. Someone.
I heard she got pretty drastically redesigned to reduce the sexuality in that
that's probably the right play, I would imagine. but that's why I didn't watch it. No, I'm just fucking,
Yeah.
I was like, she's not sexy anymore. Fuck this.
They removed my sexy rabbit.
She's a person now. She has like qualities and shit. Fuck that.
Nope, I'm not about it. Yeah,
No.
sure.
No, I didn't watch it because I don't know, LeBron James maybe. I don't know why I didn't fucking watch it. Because I'm an adult man who wants to fuck cartoon rabbits. I don't know. I'm fighting my nature. What do you want?
You just didn't see it because you wanted to make sure you didn't want to fuck a rabbit.
I thought Space Jam did a fantastic job telling the story. You don't need any more.
Yeah, it was a great shoe commercial.
Right.
God.
Yeah, well, that was
wild.
that was a weird time. Yep. Michael Jordan, who was playing baseball at the time.
He was playing baseball at the time, yeah.
Like, can you imagine just being that famous where you're just like, you know what? I know people fight their whole lives to get into professional sports. I'm going to switch.
Right. I'm going to do another one now.
And then everyone was just like, yeah, all right, cool. And he was fucking bad at it because of course he was.
Right, because these guys fought their whole life to get there.
Just like somebody either, it goes one of two ways. Either they knew he was going to be bad and they're like, who gives a shit? It's going to sell hot dogs either way.
That's what it was.
Right. Or I like to think there was just someone there that's like, he's just the epitome of athletics.
Yeah, he is the athlete. And so obviously he'll be able to transition into a totally different sport.
Well, if we learned anything, like he's very good about being okay with like situation. Like, have you watched any Stranger Things?
None.
Okay. Do you have any idea what it's about? Like, you know there's like monsters and shit, right?
That's about my extent of the knowledge.
Everybody just seems like cool with shit.
You know,
and
that's
like,
not me.
Right, and neither am I. Like, the trees are alive, and I'm like, the fucking trees are alive?
You tell me the trees are alive or that aliens are a fucking thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm upset. That's terrible.
Right, it's going to take me a minute to get okay with this shit.
Yeah.
Not Michael Jordan in Space Jam. He fucking gets transported to an alternate dimension that is a cartoon.
Yeah.
And he is immediately fine.
He's just
like he doesn't even miss a beat. No, he gets transported, right? He's crossed dimensional binds. Right. Like he is literally a traveler.
Right. He's in 2D now.
He's Doctor Who.
It's a whole thing.
Right. He's traveled dimensions.
Yeah.
But he's still a 3D character though, which is like even weirder.
Right. Yeah, he exists in a different plane than like everyone around him.
He's violating the metaphysical world.
Right.
And he's still fine. He's cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is a thing. Okay, whatever.
Hey, Bugs, how's it going? Want to play some basketball?
Right.
I'm a baseball player, but I'll help you guys out.
Yeah. I'm a baseball player. I'll help you play basketball against aliens which have stolen skill with a magical basketball from other players.
Right, from my friends, I guess. I guess they're friends in this
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
right?
In
they
this
seem
context,
like friends, right?
Yeah, he's going to help them out, get their skills back.
It's just...
Do you think he fucked Lola?
I think he was probably shooting her the eye, and she's like, you're Michael Jordan. And then Bugs was like, this is my fucking movie. And he shut that shit down.
I think he fucked Lola.
You think he cucked Bugs?
Yeah, I do. I do.
That's too bad.
I think that was probably
Bugs
a part...
Bugs doesn't strike me as a cuck, though.
I think
the contract negotiation.
Well, yeah, I think that's how they got him in.
Right. They're like, he's like, all right, but if we're going to do this...
And I think that...
You have to literally transport me to the metaphysical 2D universe. Yeah. And I want to have sex with her.
And I think Bugs had to be in the room.
Wow. Like, he just went full power play with it.
Yeah. He's like, look, this is how it is.
Was like Lola about it? She was, right?
Yeah,
like,
of course she was.
It wasn't like an uncomfortable thing.
Not for her.
No. It's Michael Jordan. In the 90s, like...
yeah, in the 90s.
Right, peak Michael Jordan.
Bugs is sitting there. And you're right. I don't think Bugs is a cuck by nature. I think he's sitting there. He's mad. He's not enjoying it.
Yeah, like, do you think after it's all done, he goes outside to, like, smoke a cigarette?
Yeah, he's
and then, like, Porky's like, bleep, and he just beats the shit out of him because he doesn't know how to take... Like, he's got to take it out, right? And Porky doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Yeah. He wasn't in the room.
Porky has the most benign interaction ever. Like, he's just pushed by. He's like, hey, Bugs, how's it going? He
really
flies
excited to film the next scene. Just beats him within an inch of his life. Bugs, bleep, 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 bleep. Just like crying a little as he's hitting him. What's up, Doc? Fuck me. Yeah, Porky's within an inch of his life. What did I do? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they used it for the movie because wasn't he all beat up at one point?
He was beat up. That's why
they
you
used it.
And shit. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's what you do, right? Like when celebrities die in real life, they write them off in the shows.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what happened.
It makes sense
in my
to me.
head.
It makes sense to me. Shame on you, Michael Jordan.
So really, you're just a kindred with Michael Jordan.
All right. He was the greatest.
That's a good thing. Just fucking cartoon rabbits.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Yeah, we can leave that one there.
Yeah. So Beastars.
Got into the weeds with that a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, Beastars in a nutshell. Michael Jordan fucking a rabbit.
Did Porky get paid out though? He did, right? They must have how do they?
They settled out of court.
Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
As long as he got taken care of.
Oh shit. So what have you been into lately?
So you've known me for a while.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I like to consider myself a bit of a rapscallion.
Yeah, little rogue.
Bit of a rogue at times. Look, I'm a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
And someone, you know me, I like to work.
Right.
I like to work.
Right.
I like to, I like pushing catalysts and doing the art designs and working with the artists and everything.
Right.
And I have a lot of trouble unwinding.
Yep.
And you have been trying to
unravel it just a bit.
Sure, just get me to take a breath, come up for some air and everything.
Yeah, it's healthy. I think you get better work done in that way anyways.
I totally agree. It's just very hard sometimes, and I think a lot of people struggle with this, to, come up for air.
Right, sure.
And, you being the monster that you are.
Right, yeah.
Introduced me to a little ditty called Sea of Thieves.
I did indeed.
And I am loving it.
It's a very good game.
It's a good pace.
It's self-paced, which
in
is
a way,
why
in a way there are
fits.
things that can happen beyond your control, but
sure.
But for the most part, the majority of the game, you get to work at your own pace.
Right, you're choosing what you do, and I think games like this are really, really good for playing with a group of friends or playing with a friend. I'd call it a social facilitator, which is what we've been doing with it recently. We've both been playing a little Sea of Thieves to unwind.
Do you know what's
work.
You know what's interesting is they struggle a lot of times in like the corporate setting to find things.
Right.
Put them on the Sea of Thieves boat and make them sail around the world for a day.
Yeah.
That will literally. It's fun. It's very non-threatening.
Right.
And it forces communication.
Right. It's just one of those things. We get some of our best ideas while we're just sitting there trolling around on Sea of Thieves. Megalodon shows up. We're fighting the Megalodon. We just talk about, what's going on in our lives. We get it all out. We de-stress. We start talking about ideas. We get things rolling.
For sure. It is a, you know what it's akin to even? Because I've been playing games my whole life.
Yep.
I would say it's like people like me and yourself. It's like our version of golf.
Yeah, in a way.
In a way,
sure.
Right? Because I don't know too many people outside of the athletes that are playing golf because they want to be
the best
Tiger. Right?
I
don't even know if he's the best. I don't fucking know anything about golf. What do you want from me?
I don't know either.
It's about hanging out with your friends, right?
Right.
In a social setting, playing a relatively straightforward.
Right. Something slow paced, something where, a lot of the times during Sea of Thieves when you're just sailing.
You're just talking.
Yeah, you just chat along the way. You plot your course, you make sure. Right.
It's fun.
And that's where the conversation happens. You're just like, hey, trim the sails, and then talk about life. Whatever.
Right, but you know how I play. We have our own little lore go. We got Richard.
We do. I loved him.
Tell him the tale of Richard.
So we had a little snake, friend of ours. Found a snake basket. I'll start at the beginning. You found a basket for snakes.
I did.
On Snake Island.
I did.
We placed the snake within it, And we put him on the ship.
All I did, hold on, don't make this a communal thing. I put it in the basket. I said, Paul, look at this snake in the basket. And you
Did I put him on the ship?
You go put him on the ship. I was like, but he spits poison. Put him on the ship.
I wanted him.
Right, and I was reluctant at first.
Yeah, but he grew on you.
Oh, I grew to love him. You could not walk by that fucker without getting poisoned.
So we're playing on the two-man ship, the sloop. So it's not a very big ship.
Yeah.
And so he's near the front of it, and you couldn't fucking use the cannons or the harpoons, rather, without this fucker shooting poison at you.
He was such an asshole.
Oh, anytime we went by the harpoons to grab something out of the water to help each other out, he's just spitting poison on you.
He's that friend that's an asshole.
But everyone likes him for it.
Right, but everyone knows he's an asshole, and like you'll get like one person who's like, yo, why do you fucking hang out with that guy? He's such an asshole. And you're like, yeah, but it's Richard.
Yeah, he just adds kind of like a spice to the dynamic of the group.
Yeah, he's a wild card.
Because like otherwise it'd be a little too vanilla, and now it's like, oh, okay, we've got some dynamics going on. That's what Richard was. You know, we kind of put him on the front there, and he kept...
And you say was, and why is that? Why do you say was? You fucking monster.
So we were ending our play session. We were wrapping up for the day on Sea of Thieves, as I believe I had to get some sleep. I'm an overnight worker usually.
Yeah.
And if you've ever played Sea of Thieves, nothing aboard your ship stays between play sessions.
Couple of weeks they're putting.
Yeah, they're updating the game, so that'll be a little different. So I wanted to test whether the snakes in the basket were an object at this point or still an NPC.
Right. God forbid we could just release our Richard and test it with someone else. No. That was too much work for you.
I didn't know you could release them. So
what do you think? You trap the snakes forever? It's like a weird fucking...
It's a video game.
They're trapped in the shadow zone.
So I fired a shot in Richard's direction.
You murdered him. You fired a shot, you fucking monster.
And it may have killed Richard.
Yeah. Oh, is that all you did? You just fired a shot and you killed him and we had a nice funeral and moved on with our lives? Is that what happened?
Perhaps.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you tell from your perspective?
Oh, because that's not how I saw it.
I felt bad.
You did. You were sad when he was gone. I missed him too.
I imagined he was going to be treated as an object like the basket and not get killed.
You made him an object. Well done.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. I feel guilty about it.
What'd you do with him? What'd you do with his poor little Richard body? His poor little dick body?
I commemorated him as best as I could.
And how was that?
I cooked and ate him.
So our dear adventuring friend.
And in true Richard fashion, he made me incredibly sick.
Yes, he did.
So I vomited everywhere.
He had the last laugh.
Yeah, so that's, Richard going out in Richard fashion, in my opinion. So I feel like I commemorated him properly.
That's a weird staple that we have now, though. Like, we'll go out of our way to find a snake basket.
Yeah, and put it on the ship.
What are we on, Richard the Third right now?
I think the third, where he's a threat to us.
Yeah. It just makes it so much better.
Yeah, because, again, otherwise, during the sea portions, where we're sailing island to island, we're just chatting, and it can become a little casual, maybe a little too mundane. Right, having a Richard aboard really keeps it spicy.
And you know what? There are points where when it gets that way, it'll pull you out of the game.
Right,
because, then we start talking about life, and it's like, okay, and then you're like, yeah, all right, we're in a cartoon universe playing a sailing game. Then Richard strikes.
Yeah, then I'm walking by, I'm trying to grab something, and I get a little poison right in the face. I'm like, oh, hey, Richard, there he is.
So, I will say that particular game is not awful alone.
Right, but
the sailing, it makes it difficult, right?
Right.
So I've been playing a bit by myself just to kind of beef up the coffers a little bit. Mm-hmm. And last night, I turned in, it was probably about 50 or 60 grand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty
decent,
good run. I was doing the emissary thing, so I had everything built up, right?
Yeah.
It was probably just a shrine. It wasn't anything crazy.
Right.
And So I had just finished turning stuff in. And I had set sail again when I came under fire.
Oh, no.
And a galleon, which is the biggest ship, pulls up.
Yeah,
And,
that's rough.
It was only manned by 3 people, and that immediately aggravated me because don't use the galleon unless
you should be using a brigantine.
Right, you need 4 people minimum. In any case, whatever, though.
Right.
That's not what I'm...
Right.
So I'm like a trapped animal.
Right.
Because there's 4 of them.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I'm in my hold.
Mm-hmm.
They board.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they didn't sink the ship or anything. They just boarded. And that frustrated me because it's like, just,
just get it over with.
Flex your muscles and move on. Like, I'm alone. You see that I'm alone. I'm not in a social mood right now. I'm just trying to unwind and, build up the coffers. Maybe if you were with me, different story.
Right. We'd have struggled and fought. Right.
But even if they boarded, maybe I'd be more willing to engage, just because when I'm playing alone, it's not a social game. I'm just trying to do, I'm playing against the elements at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like a cornered animal, I have my weapons up and I'm blocking in the corner.
Yeah.
And these people, which I get it, it's part of the game. You got to board people, right?
Sure.
But if you see it's one person, there's no victory in that.
Yeah, I can.
Is there really? The 4 of you are gonna fucking kill me and be like, yeah,
right,
yeah. No, good, cool. Statistically, I was completely outnumbered and outgunned.
Right, there was no shot you were winning it.
Well done, boys. You killed a sloop with nothing on it. Good job.
Yep.
But whatever, I get it. People are psychos, and they go, "This is where it gets weird."
Yep. Tell me how it gets weird.
They go, "Drop your weapons." You're mine now.
Oh.
That set me into such a fury. Because if I had a chest full of, if I had a boat full of gold, yeah, all right. You got some power over me.
Right.
I don't, though. You see there's
nothing to lose.
You see there's, like, it's just like, because my processing speed's pretty slow.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that they fucking got on there, saw that I was 1 by myself, so I don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
And 2, there's no treasure aboard.
Right. So what do they have to threaten you with?
Right. You're going to what? You're going to kill me or blow up? If you kill me, I'm going to just sit on the ferry until you guys bail.
What do you think they want from you?
I have no idea, because it made me so angry.
I think you have some idea.
It made me so angry, right?
Yep.
And they were young. They were like young, and I'm sure it was just them trying to play out a power fantasy or whatever.
Right.
But read the room.
Yeah.
I am a psycho. I'm alone with nothing on my ship. I ain't the guy, boys. I'm not the guy. Like,
you're not the intended target.
Look, I just think that I'm not talking to him, but I'm engaging.
Right.
So it's like, boys, you don't know who I am. I'm a real person on the other end of this who's not being social. I don't have anything to lose. You don't want to do this.
No,
you don't want to open. You don't want to open this can of worms, young men.
It's bad.
They did. They wanted to open.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So the young man, he's all decked out in his captain garb.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's the captain of his crew.
I've got my year 1 eye patch on. That's the only thing I have that's just like, look.
Been around.
Right. I'm a bit of a sea dog. But you know me, I don't fly any colors. Like, it's the most base ship and everything. That's not my bag. Like, I don't need to be flashy. I'm just trying to enjoy the game. It's a way for me to unwind.
Of course. Yeah.
He comes up in my shit, right? Mm-hmm. And there's 4 of them, so I know I'm going to lose. Like, I'm not going to kill all 4 of them, right?
Right. There's no shot.
No. So he takes a swipe at me. Right. And I don't even. Hold on a second here. Woo!
Ah!
Yeah, all right. It is making sure it's recording.
Yeah.
So he takes a swipe at me.
Yep.
And I block.
Yep.
And I kill him.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well done.
And then instead of engaging the other 3, or 2, it was 2 or 3 people. I couldn't even fucking. They're swarming my ship.
Right.
I run over to. I'm angry at this point, right?
Yeah.
I run over to their ship because it's right up my ass. Like they weren't even smart about it. Run down into their fucking hold, and they have bombs.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I said, you know what? Because again, nothing to lose, and you're impeding on my fun at this point.
Yeah.
I light all the bombs.
Did you sink them?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, they were so angry. They were so angry. And the funniest... I didn't say this because I didn't have the mic plugged in.
Yeah.
I wish... Oh, I... I did. I suicide bombed their fucking...
Bit of a jihad.
Not really, though, because it wasn't like you came at me. It was more like, you know, in the movies when like that character has to do the noble sacrifice to save the rest of them. Except there were no other characters.
It was the main character.
Yeah, it was just like, you know what? Fuck you guys. You want to ruin my fucking day by myself?
Here's one for the people at home. The rare double crack in the episode.
It is episode 10.
It's episode 10.
We'll let it run long today.
We'll give it a little extra.
Yeah, so yeah, I blew up their ship.
Good. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, I got some hate, like a hate message afterwards or whatever.
I love those.
See, but the thing is like, I didn't engage you, though.
Right.
Like, you opened the box, you saw what was inside, and again, much like a scorpion, I would say.
Yeah.
I didn't strike. I was like, yo, bro.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
Don't do it.
Right, I got a stinger. Like, let's be reasonable.
Right.
And you proceed to try to play out a power fantasy
over you, yeah.
But it's like, I don't have anything. I'm on a sloop with no treasure. What could you take?
There's nothing they can take from
you know what I took, though?
The whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't get the treasure, but I don't think they did either. Or if they did, they had to go back for it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
fuck
you.
Fuck you and you fucking stupid face.
Let's talk about the hate messages, because I love them. Have you ever played any Dead by Daylight?
A little bit. I'm not particularly good at it.
It's another one of those social games, depending on how you play it.
What is it? It's 4v1 or something?
Yeah, 4v1, asymmetrical PvP games. I very much enjoy playing the killer in those games. I don't know what it is. It's part of my brain. I don't know.
You just have a mind for murder.
Perhaps.
Mm.
Okay, disclaimer, I'm not a murderer.
Well,
Probably. And
so do you play a specific killer or
I'm the trapper.
Okay.
He just puts down little bear traps. He's very very
you're
basic.
A trap.
No.
Hey.
Puts down the bear traps.
Sure.
Let me get where I'm going with this.
A lot of subtext here, but okay.
And I've found some issues with the community of this game. Mainly that if people play survivors, they're generally little bitches.
I think any social gamings though, like
They get very mad.
there are people that are like not to go back to Sea of Thieves, but you can't win Sea of Thieves.
Right. Sure.
But people play like you can.
Right.
And I suppose you can win the match in Dead by Daylight, but
Yeah.
can you really win?
So people are so predisposed to hate messages in that game.
It's just an easy way to like vent your rage.
Yeah, I guess. And
Is it like
I
a
went
specific
initially
type,
from
like
being
what-
upset about it
Yeah.
to like I crave them.
Is it like a specific type of hate? Or is it your mother sucks dicks in hells? Is it racially based? Is it homophobic? Like what's the hate generally?
You get a lot of it. You get a lot of
just the
different
gamut?
stuff. It's Xbox Live hate. So
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, they'll get
I'm gonna
racial,
fuck your mom a little.
racial. I'll fuck your mom, that kind of thing, pretty quickly on you. But you know, I
you
seek that
respond?
out. No, generally I don't.
All right, so you don't.
Or
you don't, like amp
if
it
I
up then.
do, I try to keep it on a low level. See if I can kind of get them more heated. I'll drop a get good or something like that.
See, I get that when I do the live streams though. Like,
Yeah?
I get trolls more than like hate,
Yeah.
and I'll just talk to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. Like, somebody one time was like, you think anybody cares? They just want to see you fail. And I was like, all right, well.
All right.
I was like, it's content.
Right.
By the way, that profile picture of you and your dog's pretty rad. I got a couple German Shepherds myself. And they were like, fine after that. And it's like, all right, get it out.
Right. Now that you've done that.
Right. Do you feel better?
Right. It's like, let the anger out.
Right.
Yeah. I get it. You're frustrated.
Right. We all are.
Yeah, of course. That's human.
So.
And see, that's, in a way, that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a social facilitator.
Right.
You know, you get to talk to people, and it's fun in that way. You get little interactions. Now,
you don't try to ruin their day, though.
No, and that's the funny thing about this. This is why I kind of like called out people who play the survivor roles online, is that I am playing what is widely considered to be one of the worst killers in the game.
Like from a mechanic standpoint?
Yeah, he's overall has a poor win percentage.
Okay.
So
you're already at a handicap.
Right. And I've never go out of my way to tunnel any players. So they call it tunneling if you're consistently seeking out the same guy to kill them off one at a time.
Right.
Because they get a few chances before they're permanently killed.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll get, like, if you have a goofy name tag or whatever, like, people will tunnel you on that.
So I never tunnel. Don't do that. But if one person puts themselves in my way or is, consistently playing poorly, they might die before everyone else.
But it's not an intentional thing.
Right. And that's where the hate messages will pour in and people will get a little butthurt. And, you have those interactions, and I kind of derive some satisfaction. Get good, get outplayed.
Sure, I think it's okay to get good and all that and say get good and everything. But the people that, like, this is where I don't like it, is where if someone throws something like that at you, right?
Right.
This is an escape for all of us.
Right.
When they fail, it brings into whatever real world problems they're facing, and then they have to vent. And then if you take that and you try to amp it up, you're breeding a toxic community, right?
I can't help it.
All right. I'm just telling you. Like,
I know. I'm well aware.
But we all go back and forth about how, like, we wish it wasn't so toxic in all these games. And it's like, right, but when you feed toxicity to someone that's toxic, they become the toxic avenger.
Oh.
Yes. Ooh. I know.
Little toxic avenger, huh?
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents.
I just leave it, usually. I just like, That's
my 2 cents on that game, and kind of like how I treat the hate messages. And I know it's not the most healthy thing, but I derive some satisfaction from it. But one thing I really want to talk about when it comes to games that facilitate social interaction, and this is a little bit more niche because I don't think there's as many people who utilize or have access to this technology, is the VR chat.
The VR chat. What a wild experience.
Yeah. We used to have quite some times in there. You haven't been accompanying me as of late. Well, you've drifted away from the VR a bit.
It's just my time is pulled in a million,
I know.
Okay.
Hey,
so
at some point, maybe we drop the Sea of Thieves and hop on in.
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta get yourself the Quest, too.
Look, you just threw at me. Take another game on and buy a new technology. Get the fuck out of here. First of all, I'm going to wait till the next...
How much did your blender cost?
I'm going to wait till the next Oculus comes out.
Yeah, dodge the question.
I'm going to wait till...
That's
very political of me. I'm going to wait till the next Oculus comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably go in for that one. I'm not going to get the Quest 2. Don't be an asshole. Yes, VR chat is a very interesting experience because for those of you who have never used VR, my memories of my time in the social space that is VR are very, very close to my memories of reality.
Yeah.
There is very little separation. I can tell you what, we were in the VR. It wasn't real. But when I think about it, the memories feel the same.
Yeah. In the moment, there is absolutely a layer of separation to it. Though in time, the better the technology gets, the thinner that separation is.
And the longer that you stay in there.
Right. For the first hour, you're very aware that you're in VR.
Wobbling around. It's a little uncomfortable with the mechanics. But then as you start to adjust, it does become more natural.
Right. You sort of forget yourself and, live in the moment, which is in the VR.
Right.
And at least at one point in time, this was a phenomenal way to, just kind of get out and talk to weird, unusual people.
Oh, it's an incredible cross-section of the atypical.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So we would, after work, often go online and seek out some of the more interesting locales. And
yeah, you and I have never shied away from the abyss.
No, we like to stare right into it and have it stare into us.
So it's always, we would read an article or something and they'd be like, this part of VR chat is the dark side. And I'm like, well, let's fucking go there.
Yeah, let's go right in.
Right, let's see what they're up to.
Yeah, I want to see it.
And it's never as bad as they write about.
No, it isn't.
No,
it really never
again,
was.
it's people behind. It's always people.
Now, speaking of the abyss, I have a white whale of sorts in the VR chat.
Oh, it's your white whale?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Because I've never been able to achieve what you did by accident.
Yeah, this is why I tend to isolate, because it's just that happens to me.
You're a bit of a victim by nature.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's I'm so focused on the art and shit that I've told you this. The common sense just goes out the window.
So we were having a nice evening.
A victim
Sitting
by nature. You're a fucking asshole. I know.
There's a bit of a pattern.
I know. Yeah, but I don't assign myself victim.
Yeah, no, you're a survivor by nature.
I don't assign myself survivor. I just am more akin to weird situations.
Yeah, it's true. You kind of just fall into these things.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't listen. Full disclosure, I don't consider myself a victim or a survivor or any of that. I don't think my life is particularly that difficult.
Right.
I've had my share of bad things happen, like anyone though.
Sure. So
I think I'm just more open to the those odd situations that tend to crop up because I'm so open to shit.
You are very open to it all.
Right.
So to give context to what we're talking about, we were enjoying a nice evening in a comedy club type setting, is what I'd call it.
I would say so. Like a just a lounge probably.
And there's just such a diverse cast of characters that
and everyone has an avatar, right? Like it's not like it's my face and your face. It's right. It's
you were what?
Geralt Olivia,
and I was what?
You were family.
Yeah, Dom from Fast and the Furious.
Right. So I'm Geralt, and again, people make these avatars and they do an incredible. There's a lot of work that goes into this. So props to anyone that's doing this sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly cool.
My avatar could blink.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. The mouth moved when I talked. There was a lot of effort that went into it.
Years down the line, I refound the Dom avatar and I have it saved so I can always have it.
Yeah, I imagine.
It's very important to me.
I imagine Geralt won't be that hard to recover.
No, probably not.
Pretty standard.
So anyways.
Yeah, so we're in the lounge. We're meeting all these sorts of people. There's a Steve Harvey Mr. Potato Head. Yeah,
there's a person who's dressed up as some sort of bird and they're singing. They're beautiful.
Yeah, kind of like the Twitter bird almost, but they were singing these, their sound was great. They had a guitar. They were singing songs. We were just chilling.
They had a great voice. It was a really, really nice evening that we were having. Now, it was getting quite late as it was probably 3:30 a.m. And at this point in time, I was not a night shift worker. We'd had some drinks and I was... Yeah,
I've always been... I'm not a day person.
Nor am I, but I have a family.
Yeah.
So, I did need some sleep at this point.
Yeah, shame on you for having priorities.
Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah. That's on me. That's on me.
Listen, hey, I'm not saying that this is your fault, but,
And for quite a while, the two of us had been hanging out with this group of people, which included a woman.
Yeah, there was the bird. There was a couple other. The Steve Harvey Mr. Potato Head hung out for a while.
Right.
There were a few other people.
There's some Ugandan knuckles, as you do.
Well, we shamed the Ugandan knuckles.
We did, and you know what? It's very similar to what you were saying before, where you just talk to them a bit, and they kind of calm down, become people again.
Because basically what it was the girl that we were hanging out with was dressed as an anime character, right?
Right. Very provocatively.
Sure, with the bikini and the over exaggerated elements.
Right.
And Uganda Knuckles rolls up and is like, I want to fuck you, I want your titties, and like saying stupid shit like that. And I just said to him, I was like, she started to kind of get uncomfortable,
like rebuke it.
And I wasn't white knighting her or anything. I was just like, you don't actually want that, man. Like, just talk to her, get to know her, like just
right, be people,
just vibe with us. And as soon as I said that to him and like acknowledged that he was there, right, that's a lot of
and
what
not
it
in a
is.
negative sense, right?
No, a lot of what it is these people just don't feel heard.
Right.
He chilled right the fuck out.
Right.
Like he still kept trying to do shit where he was like, oh, can I sit on your lap? Like just stupid shit like that. But it was
probably just an attention-seeking person.
It was way less.
Right. Know? Yeah. It toned down a lot.
And she was chill. Like she was a whole vibe. Like when you would talk to her.
Right. Yeah. She seemed to be a relatively laid-back person.
I don't want to say too much information just because whatever. But European.
Sure.
So we'll just leave it at that. And just again, a very cool. Like into technology because this is at the beginning of VR.
Oh
like,
yeah. This is
just like someone
on.
that it's like, all right, cool. I think we're vibing. Like was super into music. Like a very cool person.
And so, as Evan will have you know, I'm a bad person because.
Oh, I thought I was the bad person with my irrational anger. Oh, now we're telling the truth.
Oh, you're telling me that I'm.
Oh, now we're telling the truth.
He's often accused me of being a bad person in this situation because I had to go to sleep. I had to leave him defenseless in this situation.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I need a handler. I need someone to be like, no, you have to shut it off. You have to shut it off. We can't trust you with your own devices.
I've had too much to drink.
Yeah, you were pretty loaded.
I had too much to drink. It was 3 a.m. I had to wake up, take care of my family. So I'm like, hey, Evan, I'm signing off the night. You should probably get some rest at some point, but I'll catch you later, man.
I objected like lightly. I was like, no, let's stay a little bit longer.
Yeah. You'd have given me the, oh, no, don't go.
We're hanging. This is a good vibe. Yeah.
But I signed my way off.
You've been with me enough to know how to get out of it.
Right. We were probably there for 6 hours already.
Right. And I'm just like, dude, let's just chill for like another 4.5 hours.
Right. And I'm like, well.
I know, but the problem is that you don't. I read an article on this, like pain and everything too is less in VR, like physical pain.
Really?
Yeah, it's something they're doing research on it, but it's something about like out of body experience type shit.
Huh.
So it's like you were tired, but you probably weren't as tired if you weren't in VR.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, come on, like 2.5 more hours. Come on.
So, I managed to disentangle myself.
You did, and I'm proud of you.
And in hindsight, I feel terrible about this.
You should never sleep again because of that.
But I left you behind, and you can tell me basically.
Yeah, now I have to take So now I have to take the story over and relive it.
Hey, this is therapeutic. We're gonna get it out of you.
And again, when I vibe with people, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to vibe, but when I vibe. Mm-hmm. I'm in it. Like, yeah, all right.
Right,
cool.
You're just going.
Right, because it's a vibe at that point.
Yep.
So as soon as you introduce other elements,
right,
I'm just like, whoop. I don't know how to deal with it.
Here's my thought. This might be wrong. Yeah. Do you think that she's like, he's gone. It's time.
Yeah. It's like very much, yeah. They iced it, like they targeted.
They knew.
Me.
They were like, "Oh, you're like, alone.
Oh, he's perfect. Like he'll be great for the slaughter." It's like not even a bad thing. Like I don't know.
Because they knew I was about family, so I was
you kept reminding everyone the whole night. Like that's the thing is like I wasn't role playing at all. I was just being me in Geralt's body, and I was like, just be a vibe, man.
Yeah,
and you were just all about family.
I like to be me, but then I also add in the family.
Yeah, you let Dom bleed through a little bit.
Yeah, I like to become Dom.
Yeah. I'm just so convinced I'm Geralt of
All right.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so you're gone, and she says to me, she goes, hey, "You want to see something cool?" And and here's the problem. Here's why I need.
That's how every bad thing starts.
Right, but here's why I need a handler. Okay.
Hey, do you want to see something?
Right, but here's why I need a handler.
Hey, kid, come with me.
No, it's not though. There was a lot of legwork that was done before that. We were vibing the whole night, and then you hit me with, "Hey, you want to see something cool?" So I'm like, "Well, this has been a vibe." So like, of course I want. Yeah. You're gonna show me more cool shit? Yeah, of course.
Right.
So she's like, "All right, I'm gonna send you an invite to a private room.
Oh no.
You need a special password to get in."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Just follow me." Her voice dropped a few octaves.
Yeah.
So I do. Not thinking a damn thing, I said goodbye to the bird.
Yeah.
I said, "I'll see you later. It was a pleasure.
Right.
I enjoyed your tunes.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful evening. Goodbye. Goodbye, Knuckles. Try to get your life together, young man." You know, like giving like little words of wisdom as the fucking Cenobite is leading
you're valid.
me. Yeah.
You know what?
Cenobite's leading me out.
Such sights I
Yeah,
have.
pretty much. Like she drops that shit, and I'm just like, oh, I like sights. Fucking idiot I am. So that's why I need a handler. So yeah, I know. So we get into the room.
Yeah. Describe it to me.
Okay.
Describe it again.
Yeah, I know. So I don't even know if I've given you this much detail, but I will, because
now that
you're making me give my statement for the record. It's all flooding back.
It like it happened yesterday.
Yeah, it's my fucking Nam flashback, dude. So the room is I don't know. It's like a boudoir is the only way I can describe it. Like it's red. It's a red room. There's curtains everywhere, carpet on the floor, neon lights everywhere.
Yeah.
Not a huge room, big enough.
Yeah.
Inside of it are 3 other people, all Spike Spiegel.
All of them Spike.
Yeah, they were all Spike.
Okay.
I don't understand the significance of that. And they were
cool.
all, yeah, kind of, because like there were varying degrees of like how good the avatars were.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, like some of them were really good, and then some of them were like just. It was like, all right, well, you're getting there. You
right.
know, spend a few more hours, and maybe it'll
come together. Right.
So she's explaining to me. She's like, yeah, this is so and so. I don't remember any. Like I've blocked out the names.
Right. It's yeah.
Because I'm uncomfortable.
For your mentality.
I'm uncomfortable now because now the reality of we're in a room with 3 other Spike Spiegels.
Room with 3 Spike Spiegels.
Yeah, they're smoking cigarettes. Like, that's the thing, dude. Like, I don't think you understand how bizarre this shit was.
I've been in VR chat quite a bit. It can get very bizarre.
So they're smoking cigarettes.
It's all a fever dream.
And the thing is like, on the good avatars, like there's smoke coming from the cigarettes, they're blowing the smoke out, and I'm just like, holy fucking shit, like, wow. And the guy goes, yeah, I designed this avatar, and I was like, oh, you're like a coder? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, man, that's a rad,
very breathy the way they're
right. And so they're like
speaking
they're
like this.
Yeah, it was fucking. And she goes, yeah, like, I really like your Geralt avatar. It's very impressive. Like, the eyes blink and the mouth moves. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. Like, I didn't want to be like, I fucking picked it up along the way, you know?
Yeah.
So I just, like, didn't say. I was like, oh, yeah, it's, like, really rad. It's cool. I like Geralt of Rivia. 3 Spikes, Geralt of Rivia, and this fucking anime chick.
Some might have said you invited it.
Yeah, I just.
By what you were wearing.
Yeah.
I'm going to redact that statement immediately.
No,
I feel horrible about that.
Yeah. Paul is the monster of the group, just in case you're
okay, hold on. Let me just paint Evan as the monster more often.
Okay,
then.
so I'm still the monster? Okay.
You're always the monster.
Yeah. It was what you were wearing. Yeah, it's me. It's me.
Damn.
So this is when reality starts to hit. I'm weirded out. They're talking weird. It's a lot of Spike's feed. Like, it's weird. I'm like, oh, I'm the only non-anime character.
Yeah, it's a little awkward, right?
I'm in this fucking room. What's going on? And then I noticed the ladder.
Oh, tell me of the ladder. Tell me about it, Evan.
I didn't notice it. I shouldn't even give myself that much credit. One of the Spikes goes, look at this ladder. I didn't want to look. It was a ladder made out of dildos.
Oh, no.
That's when I knew I was in trouble.
Yeah, you were in a bad place at that point.
Okay, so dildo ladders, interesting. But again, you know me. I love absurdity. I love it. I'm like,
right.
And I get excited.
You don't extract yourself at this point.
I get excited because I'm like, oh my God, you built a ladder out of dildos? I go, does it work? Like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, can we climb to the moon on this fucking thing? What's
going on here?
Right. What
are we doing?
Right. You said, you know what? I need a ladder, but instead of making it out of wood, so to speak,
yeah,
I'm going to make it out of dildos. And it wasn't like one dildo copied over and over again.
Oh, really?
No, it was like all these different dildos.
Wow.
And so the tech side of me is just like,
that's impressive. Right. This is an impressive asset.
I'm like, wow, there was some effort that went into this, right? So then Spike goes, yeah, check it out. And then he climbs up the fucking ladder and he goes, wow, come along.
Yeah, you're going to come along.
Right. And so at that point,
you're in Wonderland.
Sort of, but it's like I'm starting to realize that I'm like, oh no. But all right. So I climb up the ladder. What am I going to fucking do? So I climb up.
This is your personality, yeah. In a nutshell, this is who he is.
Right. So if you wanted to know,
he climbs the ladder.
Right. I climbed the ladder. He said, check it out. I said, that's cool. He said, come along.
Yeah.
All right. I'm still good at this point. So we get to our destination, right?
Right.
And it's just more of the same shit.
Yeah.
Now there's a chair though, and here's the thing: is I'm starting to get nervous now.
You can't. Yep.
I'm starting to get nervous now in reality because
we've been there 6 hours, so this is reality in your head.
6 hours for you fucking quitter.
Yeah, okay. You're what, 8-10 hours in?
No, this is probably about 7.5 hours in at this point, right? Because I hung out at the lounge for a while before this all went down. So I climb up the ladder. There's a chair. I don't know if they're fucking pulling this shit out of like their menus and stuff, or if it was always there. I don't know. So then she's telling me a little bit about and this is where it stops being funny. Like, this is the part that I was like, oh, now it's getting real. She's like, yeah, we actually have this thing where like we hang out outside of the game, and I was like,
oh.
Yeah, I never told you that.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. That's the thing is like I always paint it as like just the absurdity and the funny shit, but like there was my uncomfortableness doesn't just come from that. Like it's like yeah, she's like she goes, if you want, like you're pretty rad, like we'd be down to like see if you vibe with us or whatever. And I was like, sure, like, you have my username, shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. Because I don't know how to say no at this point because I'm invested. I climbed up the ladder.
You're very much like that in general, though.
Well, I mean, the problem is that if I didn't want to do it, I would have said no. I should have said no.
Yeah.
But I climbed up the ladder. At that point, I was like, well, I'm up the ladder.
I climbed all this way.
Right, I might as well meet you in real life and start a cult. Like,
yeah, of course. Why not?
That's just the next.
I got the space.
Step. Yeah, it's the next logical step.
Right.
In any case, so she's talking about that, and she's like, I just, I vibe. You're into music, like we do like some shit with that. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And she's like, you seem to be into tech, and I'm like, now my brain is going into overdrive.
Yeah, you're trying to puzzle out what's the end goal.
But you know how I do shit, and I'm just like, oh, are they gonna like? Is this gonna be like a Sword Art Online thing where I get trapped in the field? Like, I don't fucking know what is happening at this point, right?
Right.
So she goes, sit down.
Oh, sit down.
Right. So I do, and she goes, I want to show you something else. And again, I've climbed a ladder of dildos. There's been a bird singing.
You sit down.
I'm still in Wonderland. Like, there's little brief moments of fear. I'm like, oh, there's a Jabberwocky on the way.
You're Alice.
Yeah, a little Alice-like.
Yeah.
And then she gets on top of me.
Oh, no.
Now, just to give you a little bit of context, right? The entire night, we were talking about how don't sexualize her, right?
Yeah, right.
And that was my whole
vibe. That's what we were about. We were, again, not necessarily white knighting, but basically just talking to people being like, hey, be more than that.
Right, like she can have the big old
tits, and that just doesn't mean she's not being a person.
Right, the tig old bitties don't take away from her personality.
Right.
And they're not her personality, right?
Yep.
And then an hour and a half later, I'm in a room with a dildo ladder getting a lap dance.
Yep.
and I'm uncomfortable because my brain at this point is it fried so many circuits in the moment.
You just don't know what to make of it.
Because I'm trying to process 100 things.
Right,
I'm like,
you're trying
is this
to
cheating? Am I being assaulted right now? Is this real? Do they want me to join a cult? What type of music are they into? The pixelation on that ladder was very impressive. Did you see the smoke coming out of the cigarette? Like, that's the fucking... Bro.
You're still trying to process the last 20 things that have come through.
And she's just like whispering in my ear at this point, and I go,
oh,
all right,
no.
All right. And I said, well... It's pretty late. Listen, guys, it's been a blast. I've had a lot of fun. Hey, send me that message about the hangout, and then then I cowardly ran away. I don't know if I'm even a coward at that point because I saw it. Like, should I just have kept going and been like,
I don't know.
Where does it end?
Don't know. And you know what? I feel guilt to this day that I abandoned you.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
That feels a little heavy-handed. That feels a little heavy-handed from the guy who climbed the ladder of dildos.
You're not climbing?
No. Don't you look at me like that.
What if I was there? What if I was there, though? You climbing then?
No.
I'm climbing every time.
I know. That's who you are.
I can't help it. I seek adventure.
I know you are. You can't stop yourself.
Because I'm just like, well, what could...
You're like, what's up there?
You know what's funny is it's very good I wasn't born in the 70s because a serial killer would have
just been ruined.
Yeah, dude. Like Bundy would have just ate my face. Dharma, whoever the fuck ate the food. No, Gacy. He liked that. Yeah, like I just would have. He would have been like, hey, come hang out with me.
You'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, you're a pretty good guy. You're a staple of the community.
He's a clown. What am I gonna do?
Clown shit. Like, what's he gonna do to me? He's like, put these handcuffs on, and I'm like, oh, you gonna show me a magic trick? Like, and then I'm fucking dead in his crawl space.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is our exploration of your humanity.
I just need a handler. That's all it is.
I know, and I try my best.
You do a good job.
I can't be there all the time.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we need all right. So we're taking applications for like a second handler for him. You know,
I mean, you could just sub to the Patreon so I could afford
the help.
Yeah, sub to the Patreon, join the Twitch. Come play Sea of Thieves with us because,
as I say, we might end up playing some of that on stream.
Yeah, come hang out. Maybe don't take advantage of me.
Yeah, he's a vulnerable person. Come on,
no,
be better than that.
It's a bad combination. I have the call of adventure with like a Pentium 3 processing.
Yeah,
speed.
it's bad.
So bad. It's so bad. All right. I think we'll leave it at that. 10th episode.
Yeah, big one, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We've been growing. We've been showing growth week over week with our listener base. So I appreciate that everyone shows up. Talk to us. Write in the comments. I want to hear from you. Tell me about what an idiot I am for getting abused in VR chat. Paul, tell us what's going on in your life.
Well, I'm just totally neglecting the TikTok. Not posting very much there, but I plan to, probably at some point. I might end up standing up a YouTube to repost content and get some more long-form videos done. You can follow me at Partially Proficient on TikTok, and soon enough on any other social media site. I'll be setting up a Facebook, YouTube, all of that. So, come check me out if you want to get some painting tutorials, and I'll see you there.
All right, Paul. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know about those trees because I'm still mildly concerned about that. Gotta keep an eye out for that. All right, guys. You know where we're at. We're at catalystcrafting.com is the main website. All of our social platforms. We're on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all of them. Come take a look. The Etsy store is going crazy. We're almost at our 500th sale, so come be a part of that. We do giveaways and everything, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So thank you so much for the support, and keep listening. Share it with your friends. Make it go viral. Let's fight the trees together.
Oh yeah,
fight those trees together.
Everyone needs to know.
All right, crew. I'll catch you on the next one.